Back in 1936, the world of American motorcycling was about to be revolutionized. Harley-Davidson, already an established name, introduced a motorcycle that would go on to become one of the most influential machines in the brand's history, the Harley-Davidson EL, better known as the Knucklehead. The bike didn't earn its famous nickname right away. In fact, the term Knucklehead came later, thanks to the engine's distinctively shaped rocker boxes that resembled a clenched human fist, or knuckles. But even without a flashy name at launch, the impact of the Knucklehead was immediate and profound. This was the motorcycle that brought Harley-Davidson into the era of high-performance overhead valve engines, setting the tone for decades of innovation. The engine that started it all. The Knucklehead engine was a major leap forward in Harley's engineering. Officially a 61 cubic inch, 1,000 cubic centimeters, overhead valve V-twin, it was a technical marvel for its time. Compared to the older flathead engines, the Knucklehead ran cooler, produced more power, and had better efficiency. The introduction of overhead valves and a recirculating oil system was revolutionary. Harley's engineers had taken inspiration from European designs but gave it the distinctly American edge. This engine wasn't just about raw power, it was about refinement, durability, and engineering excellence. Producing around 40 horsepower, it could hit speeds of up to 100 miles per hour, which, in the 1930s, was almost unheard of for a production bike. Design and style, classic, aggressive, timeless. The Knucklehead wasn't just powerful, it looked the part. It featured sweeping fenders, a teardrop gas tank, an iconic Art Deco-inspired styling that screamed classic American muscle. The engine itself became a visual centerpiece, with its shiny, polished aluminum covers and visible pushrod tubes. Riders and custom builders instantly fell in love with the aesthetic. It was aggressive but elegant. Heavy, but balanced. That blend of mechanical strength and visual appeal made the Knucklehead the poster child for post-Depression era resilience and confidence. And it didn't just look great in the showroom, this was a bike made to ride hard and ride far. Riding experience, raw and authentic. Riding a Knucklehead is like stepping back in time. There's a mechanical rawness to it, but also a sense of connection that's hard to describe unless you've done it. The rigid frame, Springer front forks, and foot clutch with hand-shift transmission made for a ride that required skill and confidence. But those who mastered it understood the reward. The deep, throaty rumble of the V-twin, the vibration in the bars, the torque you felt in your chest, it was pure, unfiltered Americana. There was no ABS, no traction control, and no electronics. It was you, the road, and the machine. And that's exactly how riders wanted it. War efforts and post-war popularity. During World War II, Harley-Davidson shifted production to support the war effort, supplying thousands of WLA models to the US military. When the war ended, soldiers returned home with a taste for rugged two-wheelers, and the Knucklehead became the go-to civilian bike. It offered familiarity, dependability, and a serious dose of power. In the booming post-war economy, it also became a canvas for personalization. Riders chopped, bobbed, painted, and modified their Knuckleheads, giving birth to early forms of American custom culture. It wasn't long before the Knucklehead was more than just a machine, it was a symbol of personal freedom and rebellion. Cultural impact, the roots of chopper culture. By the late 1940s and early 50s, the Knucklehead engine had become the backbone of the rising chopper scene. Custom builders saw the engine as the perfect platform. It was powerful, stylish, and carried the kind of mechanical presence that demanded respect. Early customizers like Von Dutch and Indian Larry favored the Knucklehead, and soon the bike was appearing in movies, motorcycle clubs, and garage builds across the country. Even after production ended in 1947, its legacy only grew stronger. Every generation of Harley V-twin that followed, from the Panhead to the Shovelhead, owed something to the Knucklehead. Collector's gem, the holy grail of Harleys. Today, original Knuckleheads are among the most sought-after Harley-Davidson models ever made. With fewer than 42,000 units produced between 1936 and 1947, they've become rare and incredibly valuable. A well-maintained or restored Knucklehead can easily fetch six figures at auction. But it's not just about money. For collectors and enthusiasts, owning a Knucklehead is about owning a piece of American motorcycling history. It's a connection to a time when bikes were built by hand, tested by grit, and celebrated by those who dared to go fast and live free. Modern tributes, the legacy lives on. Harley-Davidson has paid tribute to the Knucklehead over the years in various ways, from museum displays to limited edition retro-style bikes. Custom builders continue to replicate or reinterpret the classic design, sometimes using modern materials and technology while keeping the old-school soul alive. There are even aftermarket companies that build complete Knucklehead engines today for enthusiasts wanting that vintage style in a new custom build. The engine might be nearly 90 years old, but its design, influence, and spirit still echo across the modern motorcycle scene. Conclusion: more than metal. The Harley-Davidson Knucklehead isn't just a bike. It's a legacy on two wheels. It's a turning point in motorcycle design, a spark that ignited the golden age of American motorcycling. From the roar of its engine to the curves of its design, it captured the imagination of a generation, and still does. Whether you're a collector, a builder, or just someone who respects the roots of the road, the Knucklehead remains the motorcycle that started it all. In a world of changing trends and advancing tech, the Knucklehead stands as a timeless reminder of what it means to ride with passion, pride, and power.